What's up, everybody? It's Omar from the Bullish Bears team. It's April 17th, 2017, and I'm gonna make a video building my watch list and recapping some of the plays for today. Sorry, it's been a little under the weather, kind of burnt out too. Just got a lot going on, so it's kind of taking a break from the video recaps. And I might do them sporadically. I might not do them as much as I've been doing them, but you got tons of content to review and study. So let's talk about some of the plays for today. I had one play for today. I really didn't have time because of work, and I just took it because I found it in the morning. Let me pull this up real quick. Show you. So I have this dip uh, dip dip buy scanner that I use, and I think it was AKS. AKS. So AKS, it actually popped up on my scanner this morning, and I didn't log in at the open. I logged in a couple of minutes after the open, and when I saw it, I saw this stock actually panicking. And when I say by panicking, what I mean by that is that it's selling off right at the market open. This AKS has been on a downward trend for the last 5 days. This is the 5-day, 5-minute chart, and it's just been kind of selling off. So whenever I see a stock like this selling off really quickly in minutes, and you can see, 9:30, it just starts by 9:31 it starts selling off, and and I'm watching the stock and it's selling off, and usually when it sells off at this speed, this rate, you're gonna get a bounce, and you can buy the dips. It's one of the patterns that I trade. I'm actually working on a little manual for all the people who subscribe their email to the Bullish Bears website. Join us on Facebook. Just search for Bullish Bears and send in a request, and we'll gladly accept you. These are one of the patterns I play, and you just look for them. So I only trade the patterns that I'm familiar with. This is one. It's people that just look strictly for dip buys. So when you get all these red candles in a row like this, you see it's very important to look at two things, right? You're seeing the actual selling pressure coming, right? So you're seeing, right, this first candle there was some volume, but this is an indecision wick, meaning the stock doesn't know really what it wants to do. And then you get some selling pressure here, see? More selling pressure here, more selling pressure here. You get a little bit of buying pressure, but look, it still doesn't exceed all the selling pressure. So the selling pressure continues. That's why I knew it wasn't the time to buy. Like I knew it still was gonna go down in price. Also, I'm looking at the time and sales tape here and level 2 down below. But I'm really looking at the time and sales because you just see tons and tons of red print. That's also kind of a confirmation that the stock is continuing to sell. So, I'm just watching it sell off, sell off, sell off, sell off, and it's going down, 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 down. And then, you get this big, and you see it's all red volume. And then all of a sudden I see the green volume pickup. So I'm starting to see the reversal, and you see this kind of indecision wick form here, which means that there may be the beginning of a reversal, but you're not sure. And then the next candle, I see some volume coming in. So I see the price going up. That's when I got in. I got in at 620, and this candle, and I just put a trend line, and I just rolled it up. And as you can see, and I'm only on a stock like this. This is the 1 5-minute chart. I'm just really looking at the 1-minute chart because it's the volatility is happening. But if you notice here on the 5-minute chart, you get the gap up and you get a pullback, you get a bull flag. So when you get a bull flag, you're gonna get another push up. And I rolled this up all the way to about right here 635, and right here to this little wash, I kind of sold because two reasons. I just rolled it as it rolled along the trend line. You see, it kind of gaps up, pulls back, second push, pull back, and it's just kind of just riding up the trend. You see, it's at this point it broke above VWAP, it broke above the 9 EMA. I mean the 20, the 9 and 20 EMA. And I sold right here, and look, and I got out, and look, I had this indecision candle. That's another confirmation. You're not sure what the stock is going to do. But it continued up. To my surprise, it had a second push up, and it went all the way up to 645, and then it had a slight reversal here, where it bounced off VWAP, and just kind of it kind of moved above VWAP later on in the day, and it moved up a little bit. So, if you're looking at the 1 minute, you want to be as close to support as possible. So what you do is Once you see that this is the low and it's moving up, you put a little trend line here. And what you should do is put a stop loss, maybe a few cents below in the event of slippage. That way your risk is minimal, you know, because what happens if, what would have happened if this got up and then completely collapsed? Well, you know, you're not risking a lot because you were very close to support, and you would put a stop loss a few cents below, maybe like at 615 or something like that, you know. And that's a dip bet. This is a dip buy play. I do a lot of these all the time, and I make a lot of money doing them. So you know, I made what did I do? I think I made like $350 on this, you know. So it wasn't a lot of money, but you know, it was enough. It was a quick play, and I was in and out of this at like at 9:43 by 10 o'clock I was out, you know. So 15 minutes, you know, not bad for 15 minutes work. All right, so that was my play for the day. All right, but so you know, so with that said, let's talk about the stocks that we'll build our watch list and review a couple of big plays that happened today. So, you know, we go to scan, and again, this is my criteria, but you can always, you know, your criteria can be different. You know, I look for stocks between 20 cents and $30, but you can look for stocks between $1 and $1,000, or $100 and $500. Do whatever you want. You know, this is just the criteria I look for. At least a minimum of 500,000 shares that are up 5% for the day. You know, you hit scan and we got 45 plays. This scan is right here. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go through the plays, all right? So the biggest mover today was up 207% with CBLI. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. These are dog shit penny stock companies, but Apple doesn't move 200% a day, right? Netflix doesn't move 200% a day, but small cap dog shit penny stocks do. And it's a low float. So my criteria for low float is generally 10 million shares or less of the stock, but the technical term is probably 20 million shares or less is considered a low float. And CBLI ripped. Now, why did it rip today? When you have a low float runner, and I don't know if there was some news. Let's see. Oh, there was some. What happened this morning? Oh, there was some sort of. There was I guess there was some sort of study report. I guess there was a positive study earning. So when you get a low float runner, okay, with news, all right, this is what happens. Short sellers see the stocks moving, right? And this is the 1 minute chart here, right? But look how choppy it is. I mean, the market opens and, you know, it's kind of hard to get a sense of the direction of what the stock is going to do, right? So you're not sure how to play this, right? You know, and you're watching this and, you know, you see it goes, this is like considered a daily golden cross when the stock goes above VWAP, the 9 and 20 EMA. Like you could use VWAP as your entry when it's real choppy like this. And you could have rolled VWAP all day. And it kind of broke below VWAP, and then it went above VWAP, like around 1040, and then it just kind of like took off. And you see these little moves up, you get these pullbacks. Well, you know, the reason why you're getting these bursts is because short sellers are trying to short the stock back down. And what happens is there's more volume coming in, more buyers than there are sellers, and the shorters are getting panicking and they're covering. So what happens is when you take a short position, right, you have to borrow shares from your broker, right, and then you have to buy them back. So you're buying to cover your short position. What happens is when you cover that causes the price of the stock to go up. So that's all that's happening here. So short sellers are getting squeezed out, you know, and that kept driving the price up all day long. But you know, this is very, very, you know, this is not, like, it's hard to get a sense of how to get in, when to get in. So with this kind of stock, I would be looking. Let me zoom out. You see how I have the 13 EMA here and the VWAP. I would have looked probably for an entry once it broke above VWAP here and just rode the 13 EMA, and I'm in as long as it stays above the 13 EMA. And you notice it never broke below the 13 EMA on the 5-minute chart. I mean, you could have rode this all day long, and I would have put a trend line here. You know, I would have like put a trend line here. You know, just had it ride up and just say, hey, as long as it doesn't break the trend, I'm good. And if you see the trend start going this way, you know what? You put another trend line and you just go up this way, you know, and you just have it ride the trend, you know, because it's choppy. You know, it's choppy. I mean, it had a tremendous amount of volume, but it was just kind of hard. You see how you're getting, like, you know, the green bars, the red bars, the green. It's like, you know, you're kind of not sure. I mean, you could have rolled the 9 and 20 EMA in the 1 minute too, but it's kind of hard to get a sense of what the stock is going to do. Nobody knows what a stock like this is going to do. Now, this is why I'm going to, so I want to switch gears for a second. Now, this is absolutely going to be on the watch list. It hit a high 490. It's at 477 right now. But this is why when stocks move like this is like a short seller's wet dream. Because what you do is you let the stock have its moment in the sun. And what you do is you wait for the stock. Look at this. This is dog shit. This is a stock that normally trades in the $1 range. It's at 488. What do you think is gonna happen? It's gonna collapse. So what you do is you wait for the first red day, and then you short it on the first red day, and you short it down, this is where you make a killing. This is how retail traders, all the best retail traders, this is how they make their money. They look for stocks like this that gap up. They let them have their run. They love it. Let it go as high as it wants. Because when the move is over, nobody's paying attention to it, they short it back down, and they make a killing shorting these stocks. That's what short sellers do. Like people like me, that's how you make like $20,000 in a trade. You know, you hold it for 3 days because you're buying like 10,000 shares, you're shorting, and you're holding it, and it goes down $3. So when you close your position, you're making like 30 grand. I mean, this is what short sellers do. This kind of money they're making a lot more than that actually. You know, so tomorrow, you know, this is gonna come down a lot. I mean, it's probably gonna move. It's gonna be on everybody's radar, but you know, eventually it's gonna wash out. You know, the problem is that because it's a low float stock, you're not gonna have a lot of shares to short. That's why you need a serious brokerage like a Speed Trader or Centerpoint that'll help you find the shares to short. Really, Centerpoint is the best if you want to find shares to short. So that's my whole spiel on why I think short selling is a winning strategy. But yeah, this is gonna be on the watch list for tomorrow. So remember, when you're in a stock like this, because it has volume, make sure you put a trend line. It just makes it so much easier to kind of follow your play, you know, because it's so choppy. You're not sure what the hell it's gonna do. You know, I'd rather look at it at a 5-minute time frame just to get a cleaner look of what the stock is doing. All right. Anyway, that said, let's keep moving. GBSND is another stock that moved. Look, this is kind of, you know, not a lot of volume. It's dog shit. This was like at 75 cents, and now it's gapping up. The stock was $10 5 days ago. All right, collapsed to nothingness. Am I gonna put on the watch list? No. Moco. This is a stock that went from 21 to 30. Probably did like a reverse split or something. That's why it's like this. I'm not gonna put it on the watch list. PITCF. Nope. This is dog shit, but it was 28 cents 5 days ago. It's risky. This is gonna collapse. Now, a stock like this is another example. A dog shit company like this that's continuing to move. All right. Look at this. This was less than 4 cents a pump. What's gonna happen eventually? Look what happened when it had its run. It had 4 green days. It went up to a high of 30 cents, and look what happened. Once it had its first red day, it closed at 21 cents, and then it closed at 15 cents, and then it closed at 16. Hit a low of 16 cents. See how it came down? So this is what short sellers do. They wait for this day. They put a tremendous short order, and they just ride it down because it's dog shit, you know. But on the yearly, it's riding along the 90 and made. It's ripping again. So what's going to happen tomorrow? It's probably going to pull back and collapse. It's going to present another great shorting opportunity. All right. I'm not going to put it on the watch list, but that's what people do. They love seeing these stocks run up because the shorts are tremendous when you get the shorting opportunity. All right. Let's move on. LOTE. LOTE. Nope. Look at this crap. SEON. SEON. Very choppy, but it did have a nice move. See on the 5 minute. So remember, you know, less volume, you got to use a bigger time frame to get a cleaner entry to understand what you're doing with a stock like this. On the 1 minute, look at this, it's just so choppy. I mean, it rolled the 90 MA. On the 5 minute, basically what people did was they saw that this was the high day at this point. So what you do is, at this point, you put your little trend line here, you know, so you can see, and once it broke the high day, people got in. And you see on the 5 minute gapped up, you got the bull flag here. So you get in here and they just rolled it up. Remember, if you get in here, put that trend line so you can just ride it up, and then it hit the high, and then it reversed and kind of riding along the 13 EMA, and it's holding its highs. So I'm going to put this on the watch list for tomorrow when it held its highs. Let's see what happens. I mean, this is, you know, let's see, a crap company. Oops, sorry. This is at its more peak was 450. You know, look at this. Then it came all the way back down. Look at this. That's why people love shorting stocks. These dog shit. Look how they come down. And, you know, most brokers will let you hold shares for 3 days to short. After 3 days, they're gonna close you out. Unless maybe the only one I know is Interactive Brokers. They'll let you hold forever, but you're gonna pay interest for each day you hold the stock. So, you know, the stock had a gap up. You know, let's see what happens tomorrow, but it's gonna come back down for sure. Let's keep moving. VR, BPR, BPRT, nah. INFI, yeah, Infinity running, holding its highs. You know, it's a stock that, you know, look, once it broke above VWAP, you could have took the trade, and just as long as it stays above the 13 EMA, you're good. Like right here, I would have just got out once it broke. Once it broke here, or I could have been greedy and say, let me see if it breaks below VWAP. If it broke below VWAP right here, I would have panicked and got out. But it continued up, and it's holding its high, so we'll see what it's going to do tomorrow. Alright, let's keep moving. Next up, IMLF, another dog shit pump. Nope. HH, nope. OHRP. I mean, this was 65 cents 5 days ago. It's moving. It's a pharmaceutical company. It's crap. It's at 98 cents. It's, you know, it's choppy. I'm not sure what it's going to do, but it, you know, may continue upward. I'm not going to put it on the watch list, but you may want to watch it. Nope. TRTC. Yeah. Man, look at this. It's just too choppy. VSTR. I mean, it's holding its highs. See, stocks like this, and I'll put it on when I create the manuals. Like, stocks like this, like, I'll take a trade, like, if I look at midday, usually about, like, 11, 12 o'clock, if I'm looking at the market, but normally I'm not. You know, if I see a stock like this with like consolidated sideways and moves above VWAP, I'll take a trade using like a few cents below VWAP with my stop. Sometimes I make those kind of trades. And look, it's up after hours to 219. I'm going to put it on the watch list because it's up after hours. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Alright, BLPH, it's holding its highs, but nah, it's too choppy. AVGR, nope. BTN, nope. KGJI, nope. PPP, nope. ROX, it's holding its highs, but look how choppy it is. You don't know what the stock like this is going to do. So here's an example of a stock that, you know, you trade, like, you're seeing at the end, you know, in the afternoon, you say, okay, look at this, it's consolidating above VWAP. I'm going to take a trade if it goes above 13 EMA. Boom, we could have took this in. Okay, a couple of cents, but that's when you use VWAP. That's how you use VWAP for entry and exits, midday. Nope, K's, nope, PLSC. PLSC had a nice rip. I think this was on my watch list. And look at this, man, nice move. It's consolidated. We'll see what's happening with this stock. You know, this was 5 days ago, was $18. This thing is monster move in 5 days, man. Let's see where, let's continue on. OCRX, nah. GSAT, you know, it's kind of holding its highs. High of 235 pre-market today. I'm sorry, 5 days ago. It came all the way back down. Now it's kind of moving back up. I don't like it's too choppy. You know, it's just way too choppy. MCIG, nah. NM is a stock I've traded before, and you know, kind of broke. See, like you're watching this, and once it broke above VWAP, you could have took your entry, just using VWAP as your entry. And as long as it rides to 13 EMA, you just in, and you could have rolled this all the way up. You know, I like these VWAP trades that move midday for choppy stocks that you're not sure what they're gonna do. You know, you know. Is this gonna be on the watch list? I don't know. Let's do the yearly chart. Yeah, it's kind of, it's too choppy. I don't like it. Alright, let's move. VIVE. Look at this. This thing went from 7 all the way to $11 today. Crazy, and it washed. This is what. So when short sellers were looking at CBLI, right? When short sellers looked at CBLI, they were thinking that CBLI was gonna do what stock was this? VIVE did, where it was gonna just rip up and then just wash. And that's what this is another one of my patterns. Like I look for stocks that gap up like this really, really fast, and then what I do is I wait for it to break the trend line, and then I short into the reversal. Look how much money you can make shorting this. That's another huge money maker. That's why I love shorting. These are patterns happen again and again and again and again. This isn't one of those patterns that I'm going to talk about in that menu that I'm putting. You know, unfortunately, a lot of them, some of them are going to be long, but to me, the real money is in shorting. That's just my opinion. All right, TNDP, nope. MGI, nope. nope. BMPX. Yeah, this thing keeps moving. It's almost at its high. Today, this was. I had this on my swing list, I think. Yeah, look at that, broke. I had this. Look at this. I was looking at this EPMX because it was on the yearly. It was a ascending triangle pattern. So you could look at patterns, and maybe I'll start doing this more for the group. You could look on the yearly chart to see. You see how it's going higher lows, and then it broke. This is an ascending triangle wedge pattern, and it broke. So like you could have looked at this the day before, say, hey, we think this is gonna be a pop up, and look, it gapped up. And look, it did a bull flag, and it pulled back, and it's moving. You know what? It might have a second rip up, pull back, and then another move. I'm gonna put this on the watch list just for that. It might pull back tomorrow, but this thing is gonna looks like it's gonna be a continuation up. All right. So with that said, let's keep going. OCRX had this nice rip and pull back, but nah. GSAT. Oh yeah, I went over all these. I'm sorry. We're at CRU. You guys had this move and then wash. See? There's another reason. Like when you see a stock like this, you just watch it rip and then you just short to the reversal. That's what short sellers love to do. Alright, YNDX moved. Wow, this thing was at $22. It's at $24. It started washing, but it's bouncing. This is gonna present a nice opportunity for a short tomorrow. Maybe it continues upward. YNDX, let's keep going where I'm at. CIG is at 272. It's at 296. It's kind of holding its highs. It's choppy. I don't like it. BCEI, nah. If it breaks over $1, you may see a move. 5 days ago, look what happened. This thing opened up, and it broke up high day, and it broke over 1. So it looks like if you look at the 5-day, it's at that, it's holding VWAP. You know what? I'm gonna put it on the watch list, and let's see what happens. BCEY. Oops, sorry. If you look at it, if you put a little trend line from the high, go down like this, and you start low. Oops. Sorry about that, guys. And you're working your way. Oh man, what the hell's going on here? Sorry guys. It's just not. I don't know what's going on with my. I don't know what's going on with this. What the hell is going on? Alright, here we go. And then if you look at it, it's kind of like forming this wedge, We'll see. That's what I wanted to show you. Anyway, let's keep moving on. The RGS kind of moving, but, closed, into the close. It's kind of holding its highs. But, it's choppy. I don't know what this is going to do. Maybe it's worth a swing trade. I don't know. But, man, this thing is just completely collapsed. It's nothing. It's dog shit. But it's moving up, apparently. I don't know. KRNT, sorry, let me go back. Yeah, the stock, a little choppy. But, look at this. If you took the trade once it broke VWAP, and look, it had on the 5 minutes a clean entry. So you're looking at the 1 minute, right? And it's ripping. But, it's choppy. But on the 5 minutes, very clear. Look. Gap up, pull back. This is the bull flag. Right here is your entry. Gap up, and then pull back. All right? This would have been your entry, and you had that last push. So you usually have 2, 1, right? This is your first entry. Actually, yeah, first entry right here. And then it got a gap up. It didn't give you a second entry. You usually have 2 in the pullback, and then it came back down, and then it broke above VWAP, and then it just rolled to 13 EMA. But if I would have saw this, I would have been watching this. I'm not sure. Once I saw it pull back and hit it, like pull back to here, I would have got it right here. Just rolled that second push up. Because usually you get 2 pushes and then a reversal. But this is so choppy, you're not sure what to do. So if you're gonna trade a stock like this, and you're not sure, I'm waiting till it breaks above VWAP for my entry, and then I use VWAP as my entry, and then ride it above VWAP. All right, now is it gonna be on my watch list? That's the question. Yeah, I'll put it on watch list. Just hold it. You know, it's $20 at $18. At $20 right now. Let's see. May see what happens tomorrow. TGTX. Yeah, this thing moved too, man. You know, the 1 minute it's so choppy. Not sure what it's gonna do. See, these are stocks that if I decide to make a trade, I'm looking to see if it breaks above VWAP, and that's what I use as my entry. It's choppy. I mean, this is a stock that I have traded before, and then it kind of came back down. If we look at the yearly chart, I mean, look at it. Look how extended this thing is. This thing was at $15, and it's just been washing ever since. Look at it. This is why you short sell, because when you see a stock like this overextended, it's gonna pull back, and look at how it pulled back. Imagine you would have gotten here shorting and held it for 3 days. I mean, you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to tell people. You know. I don't know if this is gonna continue up, but it looks like it's finding its support level around here, about 966. It may be a continuation up. I'll put it on the watch list to keep an eye on it. Alright, let's keep moving. ITUB, yeah, this is what I like. Look at that. Nice, easy, breezy. Bro, look at that. ITUB. Nice strong move. BBD, yeah, BBD, another one. Nice strong move up. Let's move this down. BBD. OWCP, nope. HCC, yeah, nice move up. Look at this. These stocks had some nice strong moves here today. CSIO, kind of holding its highs. Yeah, Continual Solar Company, $12 5 days ago. I don't know. Nah, I'm not gonna put UNIS. Alright, so these are the stocks on my watch list, folks. Now remember, I have this, you know, for those of you that follow me and know about the scanners and set them all up, I also have a new high scanner. You know, you could look at that too. Sometimes you'll see plays that are under the 5% criteria that pop up. Like, ITUB's there, YNDX. You know, these are all there. But sometimes you'll find plays too if you want to look and just continue to look. But alright, so this is my watch list for tomorrow, guys. Alright, so hopefully, remember, that's why you have your scans though. You know, I traded a stock today that wasn't on my watch list. Okay, that's what momentum trading is all about. So I hope you found this useful, and I'll see you in the chat. Alright guys, bye.